Welcome back to another video. Today I'm discussing the 4th generation pyrokinetics. First, it will be an individual video of each version of the kinetics. I don't know what's the release order of them just yet, and then it will be a compilation. So don't blame me if one of these days it is a compilation. Anyway, let's jump straight to it. The 4th generation, as dubbed as Hamuel, is a pyrokinetic individual who has awakened their Adola burst and connected with an otherworldly being through the Adola link and or their doppelganger. Anyway, it is not fully explored, of course, throughout the story, just because really when you get into those kind of villains, they're at the end of the story to be all that powerful. Anyway, a 4th generation ability is an ignition ability that a select few 3rd generation pyrokinetics are able to achieve in order to utilize a 4th generation ability. A pyrokinetic must possess an Adola burst and have received an Adola grace from an otherworldly being such as the evangelist or the woman in black. Of course, the woman in black that we refer to has been a long-lived human even before the first version of the Great Cataclysm. So I guess she's human? First human? Do human. Anyway, while the Adola Grace is active, those who are part of the 4th generation gain an immense boost to their pyrokinetic abilities, where, as we see, for example, Shokusakabe is able to slow down the flow of time by decreasing the heat that all for the natural expansion of the universe. And Shinra, of course, can accelerate past the speed of light, causing his body to disintegrate into particles, though it is regarded that he does not use this ability at all, just because it is simultaneously breaking apart his body and putting it back together, putting him in that extreme risk. So he rarely doesn't use this ability. A 4th generation ability, of course, is dependent of the Adola Grace, which the otherworldly being can revoke at any time. So if you have been granted this ability, it can be taken away. It hasn't been shown that it can be taken away, but it is said it can be. Furthermore, that being must be as strong to sustain the grace. Otherwise, the 4th generation ability can only be utilized for a brief time. Also, Lick or Victor Lick. That these seemingly impossible abilities carry side effects that are dangerous for both the user and the world around them. As of course, Shinra ran the risk of manifesting a black hole, and Sho's body being exposed to extreme cold when it cools down the universe would have put him at extreme risk to basically die because of his ability. Though that these have been warned and have been told to both of them that you can die by using these abilities, and Hamuya too, as she is able to connect to the other world simultaneously. There has never been shown any drawbacks. Of course, when they use these abilities, it is the end of the story, so there is no drawbacks that we have seen, and that would normally result from the defiance of the laws of physics actually occurring. So we have never seen a drawback. We'll never see a drawback as the story ends. Anyway, only we get is warnings and the principles. Of course, we do see Shinra end up in the hospital after Sho fight, but that's mostly towards the injuries from Sho, not even from the ability of disintegrating and putting himself back together. Anyway, that was me explaining the 4th generation of Fire Force, and I'm gonna jump straight into the 3rd generation. So I may release this in the opposite order. Don't blame me if I do. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.